As previously announced in our briefing at Three Sisters, we can confirm that unfortunately we will not be returning to Rowrah on Sunday the 28th of September as previously planned for round 11 of the season. This is a decision which was out of our control and not our desire, but unfortunately we will not be returning to Rowrah this year or for the foreseeable future. We bring good news however, and that is that as of this week, we can now confirm that we will instead be returning to Warden Law on Sunday the 28th of September, which is the same date as was previously scheduled for Rowrah. Warden Law did a fantastic job of running round 2 back in February, and we are pleased to say that we will be returning sooner than expected. As with round 2, the event will have an arrival time of 2:30 PM, an on-track time of 4 PM, and an estimated off-track time of 7 PM. Back in April, Warden Law took delivery of a new fleet of Sodi SR5 GX390 LPG karts, and reports are that they are vastly more equal and multiple seconds a lap quicker than the previous fleet. Truck locals are reporting that the new fleet of 40 cars are within approximately 1 second a lap of one another, and well, as you're about to see from this side-by-side video, they are significantly faster. You join us here then at Warden Law for a side-by-side comparison video between the old and new fleet of karts. To the left you have an onboard with myself from our visit back in February, and to the right you have an onboard with track local Tom Shipman from a round of the Karting Sprint Championship a couple of months ago. So the laps are in sync now as we go across the start-finish line, but as you'll notice, they very quickly fall out of sync. Heading down into turn 1, it's a flat out right hand and just hug the curb to the right. Then you've got the kink of turn 2 before you enter the dog leg, which is a double right hander at the far end of the circuit. Try not to use the curbs too much. You can use a little bit on the inside, but don't use them too much. You can already see Tom Shipman's begun to pull a gap as we head through St John's, a flat out left hander. Now heading into the hairpin left of turn 5. This is the beginning of the centre. It's a very tricky corner. It's an off camber hairpin. Now into the right hander. Tom Shipman's a whole other corner ahead of me now as we now head into the Dunlop chicane. This is a really tricky chicane. Not quite flat out, but it's a very, very fun chicane when you get it right. I mean, Tom's come out of that chicane before I've even got into it. He's that far ahead now as they head down into Gaswick's really tricky hairpin. This off-camber corner, very hard to make the apex, very fun corner. Then you've got the triple left-hander of the horseshoes. You've got to hug the curbs to the left-hand side before you enter the final corner on the circuit. This is paddock Bailey. It's an almost flat-out hairpin as you come over to the start-finish line. That's the lap then for Tom Shipman to 1 minute 7.55, but as you can see, the old fleet of karts slightly further behind as I come across the line now with a 1 minute 14.25, and trust me, that was a good lap. So as you can see, new fleet of karts, they're a lot quicker than the old fleet. We bring more good news as well, as we have now managed to persuade Warden Law to allow us to run our usual 3 12-minute race formats as seen at the vast majority of our events, instead of the adapted version of their 2 20-minute race format which we ran back in February. This means drivers get to drive more karts across the events and should make for much more exciting racing. Since our last visit however, Warden Law have increased their prices, not least due to having a superior fleet of karts, and as a result, unfortunately this event will cost slightly more than round 2 back in February, with this event now costing £109 per driver. However, season ticket holders will not be affected. Lastly, as you may remember, round 2 back in February was a senior only round due to Warden Law having a minimum age of 16 for all adult hire kart racing. This time round, however, we will be running the junior class at Warden Law due to the fact that the vast majority of our northern junior regulars are age 16 plus, and the 2 drivers who are aged 14 to 15 years old have given us their express permission to run the junior class at this round, with them using it as a drop round. We'd like to apologise for the mid-season change of venue. It's not something we ever do by choice. We hope you do enjoy the new venue, Warden Law, and enjoy the new karts. And we'll see you all there hopefully on Sunday the 28th of September.